My wife accidentally sent me a voice memo that was meant for her sister, and what I heard about myself made me leave the next morning. So there I was, sprawled out in bed like a dead starfish, scrolling through my phone with one eye closed. Let's be honest, I'm 32, and my eyes aren't what they used to be. The blue light was probably frying the last few brain cells I had left after a 10-hour day at the office. But hey, that's the American dream, right? Work yourself into an early grave and pretend you're living your best life. The notification popped up at exactly 1:17 a.m. Lauren had sent me a voice memo, which honestly wasn't breaking news. My wife and her sister Naomi could probably set a world record for most voice messages exchanged between two humans in a single day. I'm talking novel-length conversations about everything from their mom's latest dating disaster to whether oat milk is worth the extra $3 at Starbucks. Spoiler alert, it's not. I figured this was just another epic sister session, maybe about their cousin Jessica's engagement photos or Naomi's latest Hinge horror story. So I hit play, already half smiling because Lauren's voice always made me feel like everything was right in the world. Boy, was I wrong. Ugh, honestly, Naomi, sometimes I look at Marcus and I don't know. It's just not what I pictured, you know? Wait, what? I blinked hard, suddenly very awake. Did she just say my name in that tone? The kind of tone you use when talking about a restaurant that gave you food poisoning, not your husband of 2 years. He's sweet, solid, reliable, but he's just so plain. Safe. Those words hit me like a freight train. Plain. Safe. I sat up so fast I probably gave myself whiplash, but I couldn't move to turn off the recording. It was like watching a car crash in slow motion, horrifying, but impossible. To look away. I missed the passion, the chase. With Damien, even the fights were exciting. And there it was. Damien, the ex-boyfriend who cheated on her with 3 different women during their 2-year relationship. The same Damien who forgot to pay her back the $1,500 she lent him for his motorcycle. That Damien. She missed that train wreck, while lying next to me every night. Lauren's laugh came through next, light and casual, like she was discussing the weather instead of casually destroying her husband's sense of self-worth. It was the same laugh she used to tell funny stories. At dinner parties, the one that made everyone lean in. Turns out, I was the punchline. I mean, Marcus is great on paper, but sometimes I think I just got tired of waiting for something better. The phone slipped from my hand like it was made of hot coals, landing on the comforter with a thud that somehow sounded louder than a gunshot in the silence of our bedroom. My heart was pounding, trying to escape through my throat. Great on paper. Tired of waiting for something better. Those words bounced around in my skull like a pinball machine from hell. I looked over at Lauren, sleeping peacefully, one hand tucked under her pillow. This was the woman I'd spent 5 years falling deeper in love with. The woman who cried during dog food commercials and tried every new ice cream flavor at Baskin-Robbins. The woman who wore my old college sweatshirts and looked better in them than I ever did. The woman who apparently saw me as her safety net, not her soulmate. I tried to process what I just heard, but my brain felt like it was running Windows 95 trying to load a 4K video. How long had she felt this way? Was this new, or had she been faking it for months? Years? Every I love you, every goodnight kiss, every little moment. Had it all been obligation? Was I just the safe choice she convinced herself to settle for? Plain. The word kept echoing in my head. I mean, I wasn't going to win any modeling contests, but I kept in decent shape, showered regularly, matched my socks to my belt. I thought I was, reasonably attractive. Apparently, I thought wrong and safe. God, that stung even more. Safe meant boring, predictable. The kind of guy who uses a coaster every time and reads the terms and conditions before clicking. Agree. Which, okay, maybe I did both. But since when was being reliable a character flaw? I sat in the dark, staring at the ceiling, trying to figure out how we'd gotten here. Had I become too comfortable? Too predictable? Was I guilty of letting our relationship slip into autopilot while she was craving turbulence? The worst part wasn't even what she said. It was how casually she said it. Like my feelings were just collateral damage in her late-night therapy session with her sister. Like I was some abstract concept instead of the guy who brought her soup when she was sick and recorded her favorite TV shows when she worked late. I was Marcus, her husband, the guy who was supposed to be her person. Instead, I was just the consolation prize. You know that scene in horror movies where the idiot protagonist hears a weird noise in the basement and, instead of getting the hell out, grabs a flashlight and goes to investigate? Yeah, I was that idiot. Because instead of deleting the voice memo and pretending it never happened, I played it again and again. Each replay was like picking at a scab that hadn't even started to heal. By the third replay, I was dissecting every syllable. The way she said sweet sounded patronizing, like I was a golden retriever who learned to fetch her slippers. And reliable? Jesus, she made it sound like a character flaw. Since when did being dependable become the relationship equivalent of missionary position, boring but functional? I got up and started pacing around our bedroom like a caged animal at a really depressing zoo. I missed the passion, the chase with Damien. Even the fights were exciting. This was the part that really got to me. She missed fighting with that loser. She missed the drama, the uncertainty, the constant wondering if he'd show up. What was wrong with me that I thought treating my wife with respect and consistency was a good thing? Should I have started random arguments and disappeared for days at a time? I sat down on the edge of the bed, head in my hands, trying to wrap my brain around this new reality. 2 years of marriage? 3 years of dating before that? I thought, we were happy, genuinely happy, not just keeping up appearances. Turns out I was the only one feeling that way. I mean, Marcus is great on paper, but sometimes I think I just got tired of waiting for something better. Great on paper, like I was a job application she settled for because the position needed to be filled. Like I was the generic brand cereal she bought when Frosted Flakes was too expensive. Functional, adequate, but not what she really wanted. How long had she been shopping around in her head? How many times had she looked at me across the dinner table and thought, well, this is my life now, I guess. I started thinking about all those little moments I treasured, wondering if they meant something completely different to her. When she'd curl up next to me on the couch during Sunday movies, was she actually wishing she was somewhere else? When she laughed at my jokes, was she just being polite? When she told me she loved me, was there an invisible asterisk at the end that said, for now, or until someone better comes along? The voice memo was only 47 seconds long. I checked, but those 47 seconds contained enough emotional shrapnel to last me several lifetimes. It was like she'd taken a grenade to our relationship, and I was just now realizing I'd been standing in the blast zone. I looked at my phone again. Her contact photo smiled back at me, from our honeymoon in Napa Valley. Both of us grinning like idiots with wine-stained teeth, her hair messy from the convertible we rented. I remembered thinking, in that moment, that I was the luckiest guy alive. That somehow this incredible woman had chosen me. Except she hadn't really chosen me, had she? She'd just run out of patience waiting for her first choice to get his. Act together. You can continue from here, keeping this style and pacing, adding pauses for effect, and emphasizing the key emotional beats for your audience.